Holding the Reins of Government, September 17th. The happiest place on earth. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6:1. The will of God is the law of heaven. As long as that law was the rule of life, all the family of God were holy and happy. But when the divine law was disobeyed, then envy, jealousy, and strife were introduced, and a part of the inhabitants of heaven fell. As long as God's law is revered in our earthly homes, the family will be happy. Child Guidance 79. One of the first lessons a child needs to learn is the lesson of obedience. Before he is old enough to reason, he may be taught to obey. Education 287. The mother is the queen of the home, and the children are her subjects. She is to rule her household wisely, in the dignity of her motherhood. Her influence in the home is to be paramount. The Adventist Home 232. Self-will should never be permitted to go unrebuked. The future well-being of the child requires kindly, loving but firm discipline. It is impossible to depict the evil that results from leaving a child to its own will. Counsels to Parents, Teachers and Students 112. A fitful government, at one time holding the lines firmly and at another allowing that which has been condemned, is ruination's way child. The Adventist Home 310. Uniform firmness and unimpassioned control are necessary to the discipline of every family. Say what you mean calmly, move with consideration, and carry out what you say without deviation. Testimonies for the Church 532. The requirements of the parents should always be reasonable. Kindness should be expressed not by foolish indulgence, but by wise direction. Parents are to teach their children pleasantly, without scolding or fault-finding, seeking to bind the hearts of the little ones to them by silken cords of love. Counsels to Parents, Teachers and Students 158 and 159. The combined influence of authority and love will make it possible to hold firmly and kindly the reins of family government, an eye single to the glory of God and to what our children owe Him will keep us from looseness and from sanctioning evil. The Adventist Home 308, From the Faith I Live By, page 266.